In the depths of the galaxy, where stars fade and ancient secrets lie buried, a tale of cosmic warfare unfolds. Welcome to the universe of Warhammer 40,000, where the echoes of ancient battles still resonate. Today, we delve into the heart of darkness and witness the genesis of the war in heaven. In the eons before humanity's ascendance and the dawn of the Imperium, a race known as the NECRON inhabited a desolate world. Their home planet was a bleak and barren wasteland, its surface scarred by the relentless onslaught of radiation from a dying star. Life on NECRON was harsh and unforgiving. The air was toxic, and the land was scorched by perpetual solar flares. The NECRON endured lives plagued by suffering, their bodies ravaged by the relentless onslaught of radiation, their days punctuated by the agonizing pain of their shortened existence. But amidst the despair and desolation, the NECRON harbored a desperate longing for something more. They yearned for immortality, for an escape from the cruel fate that awaited them all. And so, they turned their gaze to the stars, searching for salvation amidst the vastness of the cosmos. Their quest for eternal life would lead them down a path fraught with peril and darkness. Little did they know that their search would bring them into contact with ancient beings of unimaginable power, forever altering the course of their history and the destiny of the galaxy itself. But as the NECRON reached out to the stars in search of salvation, their pleas fell on deaf ears. The ancient beings known as the Old Ones, masters of the galaxy's webway and architects of life itself, refused to aid them. Desperate and forsaken, the NECRON were left with no choice but to turn to darker forces for salvation. And so, their salvation came in the form of the Catan, ancient star gods of immense power. These enigmatic entities offered the NECRON the gift of eternal life, promising to free them from the shackles of mortality. But such power came at a terrible cost, for the Catan demanded unwavering loyalty and obedience in return. In exchange for their servitude, the NECRON were transformed into soulless, mechanical beings, the Necrons. Their flesh was replaced with living metal, their minds stripped of emotion and individuality. Thus, the Necrons were born, eternal and undying, but forever bound to the will of their masters. With the power of the Catan coursing through their veins, the Necrons launched a devastating campaign against the Old Ones, the ancient architects of the galaxy. The conflict that ensued was cataclysmic in its scale, spanning untold millennia and consuming entire star systems in its wake. Planets were reduced to lifeless husks, their surfaces scarred by the ravages of war. From the ashes of dead worlds, the Necrons emerged as the dominant force in the galaxy. Their legions marched triumphantly across the stars, their gleaming armies unchallenged and unstoppable. The Old Ones, once the undisputed masters of the galaxy, were pushed to the brink of extinction, their ancient empires shattered and their dominion broken. But even as the Necrons reveled in their newfound immortality, a shadow of discontent lingered within their metallic hearts. Despite their power, they yearned for freedom from the shackles of their Catan masters. And so, in a bold act of defiance, the Necrons turned against their erstwhile masters, shattering the unity of the Catan and casting them down from their lofty thrones. The once mighty star gods were sundered and fragmented, their power scattered across the cosmos in fractured shards of malevolent energy. With their creators subdued and their dominion shattered, the Necrons retreated to their tomb worlds, entombing themselves in stasis to await the day of their awakening. As millennia passed and the galaxy evolved, the ancient conflict of the war in heaven faded into myth and legend. But the echoes of that epic struggle would not remain dormant forever. In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, the Necrons began to stir from their ageless slumber. Across the galaxy, their tomb worlds rumbled to life, as the undying legions of the Necrons awakened to reclaim their long-forgotten dominion. But the resurgence of the Necrons did not go unnoticed by the other denizens of the galaxy. Among them were the ancient Eldar, the descendants of those who had once fought alongside the Old Ones against the Necrons and their Catan masters. The Eldar, now a fractured and dwindling race, watched with growing unease as the Necrons stirred from their slumber. They knew all too well the danger posed by these ancient foes, and they vowed to stand against them once more, no matter the cost. And so, as the Necrons awakened to reclaim their dominion over the stars. Meanwhile, in the grim darkness of the far future, the ancient race known as the Crocs, descendants of fierce warriors who had once clashed with the Necrons during the war in heaven, had long since devolved into brutish orcs, warlike beings driven by an insatiable thirst for battle. Unaware of the awakening of their old adversaries, the Orc Crocs roamed the galaxy in search of new conquests, their crude weapons and sheer brute force ready to clash with any who dared to challenge them. As the Necrons marshaled their forces and unleashed their legions upon the galaxy, the Eldar stood firm, ready to defend their worlds and their way of life against the ancient menace. The stage was set for a new chapter in the saga of the war in heaven, as old grudges were reignited and ancient enemies clashed once more amidst the swirling currents of the 41st millennium. And so, The stage is set for a new chapter in the saga of Warhammer 40,000. The echoes of the war in heaven reverberate through the cosmos, a reminder of the eternal struggle between light and darkness in the grim darkness of the far future. As the Necrons awaken from their slumber and the ancient races of the galaxy prepare for war, the stage is set for a conflict of unprecedented scale and magnitude. The echoes of the war in heaven serve as a warning to all who would dare to challenge the powers that shape the fate of the universe. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the annals of history. If you enjoyed this exploration of Warhammer 40,000 lore, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more epic tales from the 41st millennium. Until next time, may the Emperor protect.